Ever wonder why some women don't chase, but seem to pull the world toward them without moving a muscle? It's not magic. It's magnetic feminine energy. A quiet, profound force that doesn't just attract a man, but can stir the very depths of his soul, sometimes to the point of obsession. This isn't about playing games. It's about a woman who has journeyed inward into the shadows of her own psyche. According to the psychologist Carl Jung, we all have a shadow self, the parts of us we repressed. The magnetic woman has danced with her darkness. She's faced her old wounds, her fears of abandonment, and her unmet needs, and she's transformed them not into weakness, but into a silent, unshakable power. She becomes a mirror. When a man looks at her, he doesn't just see a woman. He sees an idealized version of his own inner feminine, the anima, as Jung called it. He sees the muse, the healer, the enigma he's been searching for his whole life. But this projection is where the turmoil begins. His ego wants to possess what it can't understand. An intense attachment starts to form, twisting around him like vines on a crumbling tower. He's not just drawn to her. He's ensnared by his own unresolved desires. Picture this: a quiet cafe, late in the evening. Her gaze drifts across the room, unhurried. He feels an invisible pull and approaches his words, a clumsy mix of charm and vulnerability. But she doesn't respond with the eager validation he expects. Instead, she meets him with a deep, stoic calm. Her silence becomes a blank canvas, and he starts projecting all his hopes and fantasies onto it. This is the first turning point. His anxious attachment, born from past hurts, awakens with a jolt. He mistakes her serenity for indifference, her self-possession for rejection. His old traumas are screaming for reassurance, but she remains unmoved, a guardian of her own inner peace. She has built her self-worth from the inside out through that difficult shadow work, and she no longer needs anyone else to validate her existence. She is her own anchor in the storm of his rising emotions. As the interaction continues, the dance intensifies. He orbits her, his ego swelling with the illusion that he's on the verge of winning her over. But her magnetic energy isn't a prize to be won. It's a reflection. It shines a light on the cracks in his own psyche. Her balanced, integrated self reflects his own unintegrated shadows right back at him. You might recognize this feeling, that subtle pull, when you meet someone who seems to see right through you, forcing you to confront the parts of yourself you've long ignored. This is where trauma psychology offers a crucial insight. His relentless pursuit is often a subconscious replay of childhood longings for a love he never received. He's not really chasing her. He's chasing a feeling of wholeness he believes she can give him. But she, through her own journey of what Jung called individuation, has already found that wholeness within herself. She has alchemized her pain into emotional sovereignty. She's no longer a prisoner of reactive, needy attachments. Then comes the second turning point. It happens in the quiet aftershock of a shared glance. The mystery deepens, hanging in the air like fog over a restless sea. He pushes for more time, more answers, more of her, but she offers only fragments, poetic hints of her inner world. She embodies a stoic virtue called apatheia, a serene indifference to the chaos of external events, including his growing desperation. This is what truly unravels him. His admiration begins to curdle into obsession. His unconscious behaviors spiral as he projects all his unmet needs onto her. He sees her as the source of his happiness, the cure for his emptiness. He fails to realize that she cannot fill his voids. Only he can. The dynamic shifts from a potential connection to a chaotic pursuit. She becomes a symbolic oracle, veiled and mysterious, and every interaction with her only exposes the raw nerve of his own self-doubt. The third turning point arrives in the charged silence between words, where desire hangs heavy and unspoken. She begins to withdraw, not out of fear or cruelty, but as a deliberate act of self-preservation. This is part of her individuation journey, a path toward wholeness that requires solitude and self-reflection. She pulls her energy back to honor her own needs, but for him, her withdrawal creates a void. He starts chasing the ghost of her energy, driven mad by her absence. All his projections and fantasies about her begin to crumble, like sandcastles washed away by the tide. You might feel a resonance here. That internal shift when your own resolve meets the echo of past trauma. It's a powerful moment that urges you to release the grip of old, painful patterns and start building your own self-worth from the ashes. This is where her feminine attraction truly shines, not from flirtation or allure, but from the quiet authority of someone who owns her shadows and has turned her vulnerability into an unbreakable inner core. The fourth turning point dawns with a painful realization for him. He grapples with what feels like loss, but it's really the loss of an illusion. Her unyielding magnetic energy has forced him to finally turn inward and face his own neglected inner feminine. His anima, it's been raging inside him, demanding to be seen, and her presence was the catalyst. This is where psychology and stoic wisdom beautifully intertwine. True resonant connection doesn't come from clinging or chasing. It comes from mutual respect and healthy detachment, where each person's emotional self-worth is the true foundation of the attraction. You see this in real life. The woman who ends a call with a gentle but firm goodbye, leaving him replaying her voice for hours, or the woman who moves through a crowd, her aura so calm and self-contained that it parts the sea of people around her without a word. She isn't seeking attention, and that's precisely why she commands it. Finally, we reach the fifth and final turning point, a moment of profound clarity. The tension dissolves. Through this archetypal lens, the woman becomes a symbol of true empowerment. Her journey of individuation is a beacon, illuminating a path beyond the chains of anxious attachment. She detaches not to punish or wound, but to honor her own soul. She understands a deep truth. The madness of desire often stems from the other person's unhealed projections, not from her own actions or any failing on her part. And perhaps you, listening to this, are awakening to this truth as well. You feel the mystery unfolding within you, fostering a self-worth that draws people in naturally, without demand or effort. This is the ultimate secret of magnetic feminine energy. It drives others to distraction not by intention, but by simply being a mirror to their own unfinished souls. So the next time you see a woman who walks away in silence, know that she isn't weak or cold, she is whole, and she simply sees more than you do. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more journeys into the heart of the human psyche.